What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another Quinn Builds review. I am doing this one solo because I worked really hard to build this set, and it was less than fun. We're going to be reviewing set number 76419, the Hogwarts Castle and Grounds. Okay, perfect. That's what I want. I want big explosion and then to be right there. Okay, got it? Thank you. All right. So before I get into anything else, before I say anything about the set, first things first, if you don't like 1x1 pieces, 1x2 pieces, and 1x3 pieces, do not build the set. That is 99% of the set. There are very few large pieces in this set. It is a lot of single bricks, all stacking up. With that being said, let's get into the rest of it. First things first, when we usually have these like framed out builds, I expect to open the first bag and it be all black pieces and no fun, and you gotta just build the base out and the whole frame and everything, and it's just like a totally boring first step, and I skipped it with Bowser. I just totally skipped it, didn't want to do it. For this one, we actually got something different. We actually jumped right into the Chamber of Secrets, which was super cool. A detail I did not realize that they would be able to put so small, and like they really captured the essence of that scene, even with just like tiny little plastic snakes. The head for the kind of the wall where the snake comes out of could have been better. The head could have been more realistic to the scene, but all in all, it was pretty good. I think the tunnel where they fall down, tunnel, cavern, well, bathroom stall, one of those things. They fall in it. Second movie, they fall in it, and it's all these leaves and branches and stuff. That we got that too. That's very cool. And after the Chamber of Secrets, the next thing we built was the scene from the very first movie with the chess set and the we all know the meme, you know. Hermione goes, "No, Ron, you can't," and Harry doesn't understand. He's going to sacrifice himself.
Oh, what is it? He's going to sacrifice himself. No, you can't.
That scene, that was great. I got to say that, annoyed Hallie a whole bunch by saying it all the rest of the night. While we were doing that, we were kind of building out the base slowly as it went. As we move in here, the rock detailing, I will say, from the outside, it looks really clean and smooth. But I have to give credit to the Lego designers, because I was just placing pieces, and then 4 steps later I was placing more pieces, and then eventually everything perfectly lined up to put a connecting piece. Like, these guys are absolute geniuses, and we can say whatever we want about sets, but you have to give these guys credit. They know what they're doing, and it is insane. Like, with that being said, it's also very complicated. It's very complex, a lot of smaller pieces. I kept telling Hallie, because she was like, "Oh, I wish I built this set." Well, I don't think she would, because it was stressful at times. My directions had 2 mistakes in them. First mistake was a piece just showing up out of nowhere. It wasn't in the previous step, and then all of a sudden it showed up in the next step, but didn't ask for the piece. I don't know if this was my book or every single book. The next mistake was in book 2. They recorded the pieces, but they didn't put the piece in the correct step. So like all of a sudden you grab one piece and it was supposed to have 2 pieces on it. It felt like it took forever to get to the buildings, and then once I got to the buildings, I felt like the set was kind of over. You spend a good portion of your time, I'd say 80% of the time, building out the base and the rocks and the cliffs and stuff here, which themselves come with a great amount of detail. There's so many little hidden secrets underneath the rocks and on the rocks and all that stuff in between. And then the buildings actually kind of fell short, I feel like. They lacked a certain amount of detail, but at the same time, I will say, I knew exactly what buildings I was building as I was building them. Now, that could be just me being a super hardcore Harry Potter fan, but I don't think you're really building this if you're not a hardcore Harry Potter fan. No stickers in any of the buildings whatsoever. Everything was a printed window, a printed door, or like a printed something else. There's like some kind of other window type or bookshelf type. But they were all printed, which I was like, whoa, do they already just have these laying around? Or are we going to be starting to see some more printed pieces in these Lego sets? Because that would be very nice. I'd like that. I will say there were some constructs that were not built really great. Like this bridge right here is not connected to anything but one stud on the left-hand side. Not very sturdy. I was very confused with whatever this white stuff is down here, these clear pieces. I'm assuming that it's snow, but I would also assume that there'd be snow or ice like in and around the rest of the set. So being a Harry Potter fan, I don't really recall what this would be. So if you guys could like let me know what these things are in the comments. I like that they chose the scenes from the Goblet of Fire. That is my favorite of the films, and it just does add like a little bit of texture. We didn't have to have somebody like flying on a broom, or it gave a little bit more to this water around the castle, which was really, really cool. So, as far as figures go, there's one. I was a little disappointed, especially since they gave like a little piece here on the side. He can sit in two places, on the middle and on the left. But I was hoping since there was two of those, there'd be two figures, but there's only one. I really love all the gold Harry Potter minifigs, and I was hoping we could get a newer one. Okay, with all that being said, I think it's a really, really cool set. It has a lot of really, really cool features. Its displayability is awesome. It's pretty small. I think for $169, you can probably get the regular, like the original castle for, an extra, like $150, I think, and you can get something twice this size, which, is pretty hard to pass up on. But if you're looking for something small, you don't have a lot of space, but you love the Harry Potter castle, this is a great set for you. Take your time, grab every single piece that you need before you start a step, especially if your instructions are wrong. You might have to just, really pay attention. If one thing is off, you will know it immediately. It won't match up, something is wrong. It's so easy to tell. Overall, I give this set a 6 out of 10. That's because of the price and because of the difficulty and the lack of minifigures, but it was still an awesome set, and I did enjoy building it. So thanks for watching. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so you know when we post our next video. Please leave a comment and a like if you enjoyed this build, and we will see you next time. As always, a big old tootles more from me, and good night.